right, Wonder Years fans, another great episode. This is Season 1, Episode 8, entitled The Science Fair. Now, let me just say up front, one of my favorite elements of the episode was the comic book aesthetic. Basically, it was like a living comic book throughout the episode. The synopsis: after seeing Dean bullied by Michael, Lillian confronts his parents. Lillian then helps Michael with his science project. So, this was one of those episodes where Don Cheadle did a heck of a job really making himself the nerdy scientist of the episode that had to learn a lesson. And the lesson is, what goes around comes around, and how you treat people is karma. What goes around comes around. And also, you don't always know everybody's backstory. Let me just say this much. I definitely understand Dean's plight. Basically, everybody's getting ready for the upcoming science fair. He's a whiz with chemistry because I believe, or he's a whiz at being a chemist because I believe he said that he received a science kit from, I think, his aunt back when he was younger. So he's been messing around with chemicals for years. And I'm looking the whole time like, yeah, this was definitely, another decade, another time. Like when he's mixing chemicals in the class, I'm like, so there's nothing for the foam to spill onto aside from the bare table. People are touching it with their bare hands. I'm like, what the hell? So essentially, there's a moment where he's in the hallway with his friends reading a comic book, and Michael comes up, yanks the comic away. It's like, what, you reading like a little white boy? And then Dean tries to stand up for himself, and then he gets beaten down into the ground. Then his mom shows up, and it is embarrassing. What Keisha's saying, what are you doing? Pick on someone your own size. He can't fight. And then his mom comes in like, what are you doing messing around my boy? He can't fight. Embarrassing. So from there, she gives Michael a ride home from school to confront his parents at home. And, they get to his rundown house, and turns out, his parents aren't there. So he looks under the mat to get a key, and he goes into the house. So Lillian then, thinks about, how rundown the house looks on the inside. His parents must not be taking care of him well. And at the dinner table, she's like, you know what, Dean, you're going to help him out. I'm like, first of all, yeah, I get it from the Lillian perspective, because when you're older and mature, you realize that, bullies usually take out their frustration due to their home situation. But if I'm the victim, fuck them. But I get it, though. It was actually an interesting gesture. And of course, Dean's dad, Bill, looked like, no, Lillian, I see this like a lost puppy thing. You always got a knack for trying to help people. Sometimes it works out. Other times they take advantage of the kindness, but she sees this as a benefit. So, he's not doing well in school. Dean, you should help him out. So the next day, Dean's like, hey, my mom said to help you with the science project. No. Okay, fine. So he just leaves. Next thing you know, he gets home and, oh, wait, my mom's helping him with the project. So apparently he's trying to build a potato clock. And I love how Lillian didn't give up on Michael. But as the episode progressed, you could see Dean being a bit jealous due to the fact, like, wait, that's my science kit you're using. And, oh, there are plenty of potatoes. And I'm thinking I know how the episode ends, but then I'm wrong. So later on, his sister makes fun of him. Is like, oh yeah, it looks like there's a new favorite son because Michael gets to stay for dinner. And every time that Dean thinks that his parents will get mad, it's like, oh, because Lillian was helping with the science fair project, she didn't make dinner on time. And his dad was like, oh, no, it's fine. We'll just eat the leftovers from last night. And as they're eating dinner, Michael's brother comes by and picks him up. And of course, Michael thanks Lillian for the help. And we move on to the day of the science fair. And Dean is pretty confident. Like, don't get me wrong. As the episode goes on, you see him getting jealous of the time his mom spends with Lillian. And then on top of that, Lillian reveals that, well, from what I've learned, his mother got sent away to an asylum because, mentally she wasn't right. And his 22-year-old brother has been taking care of him. So not everybody is as fortunate as you and stuff. And that's a great lesson. But from the Dean perspective, this guy has been beating me up for no reason. So I understand the feeling bad, but that doesn't make up for me being tortured. In the long run, yes, Lillian's efforts help, Michael warm up to Dean. But at the same time, it's like, well, Mom, you weren't the one getting beaten up. So we get to the science fair. Dean is like, this dude was feeling himself. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Hey, girl, that's a nice project you got there. And then, of course, Don Cheadle's dialogue is like, man, what, this is a baking soda volcano, diorama, the universe, planets are, the wrong size. Bill is like, oh, this boy. So he sets up, he wishes Michael luck on the project. And when the judges come around to him, at first he has a flimsy explanation, but when he thinks about it, he's able to explain the potato clock. And I think that's a great thing, because earlier in the episode, he really wasn't able to read or comprehend the science, but Lillian didn't give up on him. So then when it's Dean's turn to showcase his chemical reaction, it was a dud. And everybody started laughing at him. And then out of nowhere, he looks at Michael saying, wait, what are you laughing at? Your mom's so crazy. You needed my mom to help you. Ooh. And that embarrassed his ass. So then after that, Dean felt awful. He gets into the car with his mom, and she was like, yeah, I didn't even make it to the top 3. I didn't even deserve it. And she's like, yeah, you're right. And I'm sorry, Mom. Well, yeah, you need to think about what you're going to say to apologize to Michael. So Michael comes out and notices the car, but then turns the other way. And after that, his mom pulls him out a science kit to, make sure he's ready for the next one. And then at the end of the episode, the redemption arc, if you will, is when they're all kind of getting close together to donate for, those in need. So at the end of the day, Dean learned the importance of just because you can do something to get back at somebody doesn't mean you should. On top of that, it's like, everybody's laughing at him, but you're going to signal out Michael. And here's what I thought. I didn't think Dean's experiment would be a dud, but I did think that at best he would get runner-up because he was so cocky he was going to win. So I would imagine that he would get second place to Michael's potato clock. And I was like, yo. So, throughout the episode, Dean was like, I get bullied. I'm not the best at sports. I can't really fight. My mom's helping out the bully like he's her other son or something. But the science fair is what I excel in. So to actually have Michael win and Dean lose, I thought that would have been the twist to make Dean snap, to maybe make a crack at Michael. And then his mom teach him about, like, you're not being replaced. I'm just helping somebody else in need who doesn't have things as good as you do. And that would have been the main lesson. But no, Dean just loses. And then he lashes out at Michael. And maybe we'll see the apology in an upcoming episode. I don't really know. But yeah, I would probably score this one about a 7 out of 10. Because of the fact that, it did have some good lessons. But it just feels like Lillian, while her heart was in the right place and everything, and she did help out somebody in need, it's almost as if she kind of disregarded Dean being bullied at all, So that's just my opinion. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What did you think of this episode of The Wonder Years? I thought it was another good one. Can't wait to see what happens next week. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe, hit the bell icon, and hit all. That way you're notified when I post content on the channel. And if you want to donate, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App.